Hello everyone and welcome to Best Side Cycling. Today we'll be continuing our video series on the Lake Washington Loop. This is a 50-mile quintessential ride around here that circumnavigates the whole Lake Washington. Each one of the videos will sort of piece a part of the ride with a lot of thorough, detailed commentary and just a full ride along. But anyway, so we're here starting in Renton from Rainier Avenue and we're going to be riding to Seward Park Avenue. The stretch that we're riding today is about 2.7 miles and almost completely flat. As you can tell, it starts out here as sort of a big 2-lane road. Definitely feel comfortable to take more of the lane, as this will soon transition into a 1-lane road with a bike lane and then car parking on the side. So Rainier Avenue definitely isn't like a highway or super fast road, but there can be a fairly decent amount of traffic. So definitely watch out there. As you can tell, I am sort of making use of the right lane until this transitions sort of right up ahead here and you see the merging signs and everything, and then the bike lane starts to appear. But just going over this, there's sort of a few things I wanted to talk about. But first, let's talk about maybe the best strategies when it comes to riding in a situation like this and what you need to look out for, as in these next 3 miles, it's really going to look really similar in terms of the whole traffic pattern. And the key is really just finding that balance between two things. The cars on your left, as they continue to just sort of zoom by, you obviously do not want to get too close to the point that you might get accidentally scraped by one of their windshields. That would be great. Or side mirrors. And then the other main hazard is to your right. As you see here, there's going to be a ton of cars just parked there. And something as a cyclist you definitely need to look out for is getting doored. So that's just when a driver or a passenger opens the door without looking, and then you can't brake in time and you hit their door. And it's actually codified in the Washington state law that this is illegal. I find it sort of interesting sometimes looking through that. They have oddly very specific laws about certain things, and this is one of them. So really, the best way to prevent that is riding a little bit further from the side. This gives the drivers a little bit more visibility of you coming up ahead, as well as definitely try to peer up in front as much as you can. I think really it's about just if there's any car lights that are on, or if you can see drivers from the back or other people around the car. All those can be really good hints that maybe you just need to slow it down, because ultimately if you are at a slower pace, it is going to be a safer ride. The faster you're going, I find it tend to drift closer and closer towards the car lane, but it really depends on how many people you have and how fast you're riding. So definitely take those tips in mind as you're going along here, finding that sweet spot between the two. But you should feel fairly confident right here, and the sights that you see is actually pretty great. So on the right is going to be, of course, Lake Washington, and also you'll see a huge sort of landmass, and that's Mercer Island. It doesn't really look like an island, to be honest, for the most of the time, because it's so big, but it's definitely another great ride to do over there, and something that people on the Lake Washington Loop sort of count as something that you can just sort of do extra. I mean, the Lake Washington Loop is so fun in its own way, because you can always just divide it up as you like. Like, for example, I live in South Bellevue. Sometimes I only just ride this southern tip and then cross back on the I-90 and go back home. Or you can do, like, basically the bridges just provide any shortcut, and the Mercer Island adds that little extra detour. So definitely let me know in the comments below, like, what's your favorite version of the Lake Washington Loop. I know not everyone just has time to do the full 50 miles every time, so definitely that's an option there. As well as we're here now basically in the South Seattle area, and a couple things. One is I know that I haven't had a lot of videos on South Seattle yet, but really fortunately is that I'm going to probably doing a collab with Bobco85, another local Seattle cycling channel, and he's going to take me around, and I hope to show you all what that's like and what he has shown me, and we can sort of all explore that area together. So look forward to that. And also just the fact that really in this whole series, you really get a lot of different flavors of the whole King County area and what the residences look like. We pass by sort of basically like a lot, if not most, a lot of notable neighborhoods, and just getting the feel of each one. The Lake Washington Loop is a great ride to do that. But anyway, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please roll over the like button and subscribe. We cover all local Seattle cycling content, and yeah, it's been really awesome making these videos for you all. So if you could also hit that bell icon, it will really give me a lot of motivation and encouragement to keep this all going. But anyway, as we continue along here, there's gonna be this route is basically one of the only routes in this corridor that sort of connects this area. I haven't actually had much experience riding much else, and this route can be used both ways, both going northbound and southbound. It's notably sort of used in the Seattle to Portland ride going southbound. As you sort of leave the Seattle area, enter into Renton, you can definitely use this road. But yeah, it's also pretty nice. It's as I mentioned sort of in the beginning of the video, this route is pretty much completely flat. I think there's only 75 feet of elevation across 3 miles, so it's quite reasonable. And the only other thing that you might need to watch out for as you ride along here is, sometimes there are sort of those manhole covers and potholes, but there are some areas that are a bit more gravelly and the pavement is not as well maintained. As well as you can see here, there's some road work ahead. So I definitely, whenever you see or signs like that, my first instinct is to slow down obviously, but also to look behind me and start to merge in early as soon as I can, just so that cars know to not get too close or to sort of wait. And we're over like this gravelly part now, and the key thing there is really just to keep going straight. Don't try to turn or brake too hard when you're on top of gravel. That will definitely lead to a loss of traction. Though anyway, for this section, I think I'm just going to sort of skip ahead closer towards Seward Park, because really it's gonna look almost exactly the same the whole way. But as we get here, we're now sort of closer towards the intersections. You'll sort of note that there's sort of a lot more sort of going on with these shops and everything. And as we're approaching these intersections, just pay heed, and we're gonna be turning right at this second one. And that's all I had for this video, so I'll see you all in the next one.